What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Moonbill Garage. I'm here in my master bath, and I've got something that is right behind the camera here that I want to show you, and I want to know if you think if it makes any sense. Why would anyone put sliding double doors going into a walk-in closet, especially when it's right next to a shower? I mean, this is just wasted space. I mean, you could easily have, towel racks here. Granted, they'd be behind the shower door, but you could have, a mirror, towel racks. And on the back side, my wife has stuff right up against this door just because we don't use this door. We could have, if there was a wall, we could have hooks, you have another hanging rod, whatever. This is, to me, is just wasted space. So my plan is to tear all this out and put in a pocket door. So my plan is I ordered a pocket door that is basically half the size. So I'm going to reuse one door. So I won't have to buy a new door. I'm just going to reuse one of them. I'm going to be real careful taking down all the trim because the top trim, I should be able to just, trim it back to where I need. Basically cut it in half. Same with the vertical piece of trim over there. I'll be able to just take that and move it over here. Same with the casing. I'm going to have to probably rip the casing down the table saw because I'm going to need to split it for the track that'll be up in there, as well as for the opening where the door goes into the pocket. I'll have to split that casing, and I'll show all that. But that's my plan. So I'm going to start tearing this apart, being as careful as I can not to break anything. And with that, the majority of the demo work is done. I was able to save all the trim. You can see it back there. Didn't damage any of that, so that's good. I'll be able to reuse all of my old trim. I didn't damage any of the drywall that I didn't want to, except for on this side, I meant to keep that quarter round transition from the one side to the other in the drywall. Kind of meant to keep that. Got a little into it, kept going, so it all came out, which is fine. I'll just redo it. It's all gonna get mud and taped anyway, so that'll all get redone. I still gotta clean up the mess on the floor. So yeah, there's all that. I think I still have some nails to take care of and staples and things like that, some drywall up in the corner, but overall, the majority of the demo is done. So I can start getting to the actual pocket door frame. All right, so I've got the pocket door frame just sitting in my door opening. Now, this is a rocket door frame that I ordered from Home Depot, and it comes as a kit. So I had to assemble the entire frame myself. Now, the only reason why I didn't show that is because, well, there are so many different frames out there. You know, your frame may be different than mine. You may have bought a pre-assembled frame, or like I've ordered a kit. You can get wooden frames, metal frames. So there's just so many different options out there that I really didn't feel that showing the assembly of the frame was really necessary. Plus, it's really, really simple. Now, I did have to make one modification to this frame, and I did have to take off, it's about 3/4 of an inch or so off the top. Now you saw where I pulled all the drywall down. Along the bottom, I cut the carpet out. So everything is at, the bare frame, bare floor. So even with that, I had to take that 3/4 of an inch off the top. So, but like I said, I've got everything sitting there exactly how I want it. I'm ready to start securing it. Now, you want to start securing with your top frame first. You want to make sure that's perfectly level. That's where the track is, and everything's going to kind of ride off of that. So once you get your top frame or your top rail how you want it, perfectly level, centered in the doorway, then basically your frame itself will kind of hang off that, and then you'll be able to make any adjustments you need to make. So, like I said, everything is exactly how I want it. I started off by getting the top track level. I'll try to show this here. Let me get there's the top track. Throw a level up here as best I can with one hand. And as you can see there, hopefully the bubble is perfectly level. Once I made sure that top track was level, I then checked the vertical piece that attaches to the stud. Okay, for the piece along the stud, I want to make sure that it was perfectly level. So hopefully this will show up. You can hopefully see the bubble there, if it'll focus. Hopefully that'll focus there. So you can see that is perfectly plumb. And then I also wanted to check make sure I was plumb in the opening this way also. So again, there is my bubble, and I did check that on both sides. Once I made sure that the vertical part of the frame was perfectly plumb both ways, basically along the frame, and then made sure it wasn't canted in or out either way, I checked the actual vertical piece where the door will slide into the pocket. All right, so once again, I went ahead, this is the front of the frame where the door will go. I made sure this was perfectly plumb, along with checking it that way also. There you can see it is perfectly plumb. So with everything right where I want it, I'm ready to start securing it. Now, to start securing the top rail, it was supposed to use these brackets. And basically what these brackets did was they were supposed to get screwed in there, and then the top part here would screw into the framework. Now, obviously I can't do that because I've already got drywall in place. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drill a few holes up through the bottom of the frame. That way I can get screws into basically the header above the door. That's exactly how the last track was hung. It was just screwed up from the bottom. So this should be more than enough. I'll probably put one at each end and then, 2 or 3 evenly spaced through the middle. And with the frame here, that'll be more than enough to support that door. So I'm going to pre-drill those holes, and then once those screws are in, I'll be able to start securing the piece down along this wall stud. With the top now secured, I can now start securing to the stud. All right, with everything kind of checked a 3rd, 4th, 5th time, whatever it takes, everything is plumb this way, everything is plumb this way, everything's level, I can now secure it to the floor. All right, so this is the point in the project where you would normally hang your drywall. I don't have any drywall. My truck is out of commission right now, so I have no way to get drywall home. And that was kind of why I'd put off doing this project, and I realized that after I started. Oh well. So I thought I would try out hang the door. Make sure everything functions smoothly, functions properly before I start doing drywall. So I got the door just kind of hung up there. Nothing's tight yet, but it is plumb. It does operate nice and smooth. The only thing is I'll have to probably either shim this bumper out or get a new one, a longer one, because I'm going to want the door to sit flush with the split casing. And right now it just goes in, it's almost flush with the frame, which means it'll be too far in once the split casing is up. So I'll have to replace that. Also, I'm going to have to shim the casing on this side of the door. When the door is closed all the way, there's a gap at the top. The door is plumb, that wall is a little out of plumb. So no big deal, I'll just shim the casing when I go to install that. Other than that, the frame is in. That's really about it. I mean, when it comes to doing the trim work, it all depends how you want to trim yours. Like I said, I'm going to trim mine out so that it sits perfectly flush. I'm not going to worry about adding any kind of locking mechanism or anything like that. I've already got the pull handle here. I'll probably add like a kind of handle where you can push in to get a little hook to pull it since it's going to sit flush. But I don't have any need to lock this closet door. So I may do a video when it comes to trimming all this out. But right now, this video was about getting your frame installed, getting everything set up correctly. And I think I've pretty much accomplished that. Everything is in and level, plumb, square. It's working nice. I appreciate you guys for watching. Hit that subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you on the next one.